People are paying over $3,000 for tiny apartments in New York City, while 75,000 New Yorkers are moving to New Jersey every year. But most don't know which suburbs to pick. Today, I'm revealing the 6 New Jersey towns about to explode in 2026, where trains get you into New York City and Manhattan in a very small period of time, and where prices are 15 to 25% lower than New York City. As a New Jersey real estate specialist of 12 years, I'll show you exactly where billion-dollar developments are breaking ground and why buying before these projects complete could make a huge difference in what you pay. So let's start with Montclair. Here's the truth about it. When you see what's happening on Church Street, you'll understand why New York City professionals love living here. It's not just another strip mall pretending to be downtown. It's locally owned businesses and shops where owners will actually remember your name. Award-winning restaurants that could hold their own in Manhattan, and the Montclair Art Museum that brings real culture to the suburbs. You can walk from boutique to boutique, grab coffee at a local roaster, make some art and pottery at Montclair Mud, and have lunch at a restaurant with a James Beard nomination and catch a show at the Wellmont Theater. And you never once need to get into a vehicle. Let me ask you something. How many suburbs let parents choose special programs for their kids' interests? The public schools here have this amazing magnet program, and the kid who loves science can dive into STEM. Your artistic child can dive into the performing arts. It's not your typical suburban school system where everyone goes to the same program and hopes for the best. Now, compared to Jersey City's massive development boom, we'll discuss that in a minute, Montclair feels more established and refined, and yes, that means it is reflected in the price. But here's what that means for you. Multiple train stations provide direct service to Manhattan, and since the town sits 18 miles from the city, you're looking at about a 40 to 45 minute commute to Penn Station. Think about that. Most of the people in Brooklyn take much longer to get to work, and they're already in the city. Well, the Wellmont Theater brings in all sorts of performers, indie bands, and some bigger names who choose that intimate venue over Madison Square Garden. And the community events, we're talking real neighborhood connections. Kids play with each other in the parks, parents actually become friends, not just head nod acquaintances at drop off. Now, the housing variety is where Montclair really shines. You can find a smaller home near a train station, or a Tudor-style home on a tree-lined street for that classic suburban feel, or a modern brand new construction or rebuild with the latest smart home features if that's your speed. There are also some co-ops that are very close to the train station and rentals that are also very close to the train station. Ask me about that offline. The variety means that there's something for everyone in every stage of life and every price point, and that's exactly why the town remains such a strong and stable market. But here's what the statistics don't tell you about Montclair, and this is important. The downtown is genuinely alive on the weekends. Families pack the farmers market. Couples have date nights at local restaurants. There is Montclair State University, so there is a younger feel here as well. It's a small town feel, being that it's so close to Manhattan. This isn't a bedroom community where everyone just appears on a Friday night and you don't see them again until Monday. If you're finding value in this breakdown of New Jersey's hottest suburban markets, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. I drop insider real estate content that could save you thousands, and my subscribers get first look at market trends, development updates, opportunities that buyers never hear of until it's too late. Let's talk about Maplewood in South Orange, aka SoMa. Maplewood's average rent is $2,380 a month. But here's where it gets interesting. Homes are already hitting above the $1 million mark, and some smart buyers know what's coming. So think about it. The train delivers you to Penn Station in just about 40 minutes from Maplewood. They run frequently throughout the day, and that's closer than some places in Queens and Brooklyn, except instead of a cramped apartment where you can hear your neighbor's TV through the wall, you can actually get a yard with a house where your kids can play, and where you have a lot of breathing room. Let me be completely honest about what's happening in Maplewood Village. It won New Jersey Monthly's Downtown Showdown of 2015, earning recognition as one of New Jersey's most vibrant downtowns. And this wasn't some participation trophy. Real residents across the state voted for what makes a downtown special. The creative community here attracts artists, writers, and young professionals. but not in a forced tone. You'll find real art galleries showing local artwork, independent bookstores, craft cocktail bars, and coffee shops where people genuinely work on their novels, not just pretend to scroll on Instagram. The Soma area, if you're wondering, that South Orange and Maplewood combined, has jitney services that completely solve the last mile problem. But wait until you hear about the waterfront transformation happening in Weehawken, which we'll cover in a couple of minutes. That's where the real luxury development is taking place at a scale that's honestly jaw-dropping. So let's talk about Maplewood for a minute. Properties are jumping over the $1 million mark as New York City buyers discover the area. We're not talking about gradual appreciation. This is consistent appreciation year over year in the past 5 to 7 years. Current sales prices are much, much higher here than they are in other neighborhoods. And so that is reflected in everything that is available to you in these communities of South Orange and Maplewood. All right, so a $313 million all-glass tower with luxury condos is opening in the summer of 2026 in Weehawken, and I'm willing to bet you most New Yorkers don't even know that this town exists yet. They probably see it from across the river, but let me pull back the curtain on what's really happening here. 1800 Avenue at Port Imperial project doesn't just have amenities. It has pools, fitness centers, golf simulators that rival any other building you'd find in Manhattan that is luxury. We're talking Manhattan level amenities for New Jersey prices. On Boulevard East, you can find Manhattan skyline views that stretch from the Freedom Tower all the way to George Washington Bridge. And I need you to understand what I mean by views. These aren't partial glimpses between buildings or lean out and crane your neck to see them situations. These are full, unobstructed views of New York City. People pay millions for these views, and here you could get them for a little bit less than $1 million. The Reserve at Estuary just opened with hundreds of residences at Lincoln Harbor. And here's what matters. Big investors are pouring money into this area, and that's your signal. People that are smarter than us with way deeper pockets have done the math and see opportunity. These aren't very small developers. These are big, big developers that are sophisticated investors and know exactly what they're doing in the spaces that they're deciding to build. What makes Weehawken special is its elevated position on the Palisades. This is literally looking down at your competition. That elevated perspective makes the Manhattan skyline look even more impressive than it does from ground level. And speaking of impressive, Hoboken's $100 million waterfront reconstruction, which I'll break down for you in a moment, is part of this regional transformation that's lifting property values all across the entire Gold Coast of New Jersey. The spillover effect from Hoboken and Jersey City's price peaks makes Weehawken the next logical boom market. Let me explain exactly what I mean. As those markets reach capacity and climb toward Manhattan levels, buyers are looking for something a little bit further north, and they're discovering Weehawken. Same waterfront access and even better views, but people just haven't seen it yet. 10 years ago, it was Hoboken. 20 years ago, it was Jersey City. The pattern is crystal clear. If you understand patterns in real estate, you understand where there is opportunity. So yes, Hoboken has one of the highest concentrations of bars per capita in the US, with over 120 bars per square mile. Fun fact to drop at parties. But that's actually not why everyone moves there. It's the property values that keep climbing. So the $100 million Rebuild by Design project is reconstructing the waterfront infrastructure, and work has been underway since 2024. This isn't just maintenance. This is a massive investment that protects against flooding while creating opportunities for premium waterfront development that will transform that shoreline. Let me paint you a picture of what living in Hoboken actually is like. Pedestrian-friendly layouts mean many residents genuinely don't use cars, and I'm not exaggerating. Everything from your morning coffee to your kid's pediatrician to their school and Saturday night dinner is readily accessible to you. Grocery stores, pharmacies, doctors, dentists, gyms, restaurants, bars, dog parks. Everything is there for you. You've probably heard of places like Pilsner House and rooftops like City Bistro that provide Manhattan quality dining and nightlife without the bridge and tunnel hassle. Here's what tells me Hoboken's growth isn't slowing. Harts Mountain Industries and other major developers continue pouring millions into luxury rental properties. These companies don't throw around that kind of cash without doing some serious research, and they've done the numbers. They've studied demographics, they've analyzed trends, and they see what's coming. Direct Manhattan skyline views from the waterfront create this emotional connection to the city while you're living just right outside it. Then you come home to a little bit of a quieter environment where you can actually know your neighbors. Now, Ridgewood's Premium School District, which we'll get to shortly, attracts a completely different crowd than Hoboken, but both represent the evolution of suburban living that's happening right now. Hoboken proves you don't have to sacrifice urban amenities to leave the city. The PATH train to Hoboken Terminal connects you to multiple destinations in Manhattan in under 15 minutes. And New Jersey Transit trains can take you anywhere in New Jersey that you need to go. But here's what really matters about Hoboken. This is where the full picture comes together. Young professionals start here thinking that it's temporary. They meet their partners, they have kids, and then something interesting happens. Instead of fleeing to the suburbs like previous years and previous generations, they end up staying because they have improved school systems. The family amenities have expanded. The community has matured while keeping its energy. This isn't your parents' suburb, and that's exactly the point. Ridgewood Public Schools consistently achieve number 5 statewide. Let me tell you why that's really important and what's really happening on East Ridgewood Avenue. That's what's driving families to pay these premium prices in Ridgewood. The village maintains authentic small town character while offering metropolitan level amenities, and that combination is incredibly rare. This is where successful professionals move when they want really the best of everything, but they want to be a little bit further from the city, school, shopping, dining. It's not just the appearance. East Ridgewood Avenue rivals any upscale shopping district to specialty food shops selling gourmet cheeses. This isn't strip mall shopping with the same chain stores you've seen everywhere. This is a genuine downtown that happens to be in the suburbs, and difference matters. New Jersey Transit gets you to Penn Station in under an hour. Multiple bus routes to Port Authority give you backup options. Now, is that as fast as Hoboken? No. But here's what you're trading for that extra commute time: a completely different quality of life that many people decide is worth it, with much more space, schools that prepare kids for Ivy League universities, and still letting you be actual kids. And what do I mean by that? The pressure is a little bit more relaxed here than in higher achieving districts. They speak for themselves when you look at college admissions and test scores. Tree-lined streets with historic architecture create exactly the American suburban dream when you think about. We're talking gorgeous colonials and Victorians with wraparound porches, Tudors that look like something from a fairy tale. And those details on these homes are something that are really make it kind of this perfect Americana. Wait until you see the biggest development happening in Jersey City, and that's going to affect property values across the entire region, including established places like Ridgewood. Anyway, Bergen County brings itself serious advantages: major shopping centers, entertainment, and it's all within a short drive. But you actually really do need to drive in Ridgewood. Ridgewood delivers on every single level for those who want to live there. All right, this is where things get absolutely fun and wild. Jersey City's planning 8,000 new housing units for the entire Bayfront on a former brownfield site. But that's honestly just the beginning of what's happening here. When you see the full scope of development, you'll understand why the opportunity is so large. The Bayfront redevelopment project, as long as many other large-scale redevelopment projects across the city, are some of the biggest transformations that we have seen in the area. It's not just another development, it's urban transformation on a scale that is close to Manhattan. Phase 1 of construction will begin earlier next year with 1,500 units to start, but Jersey City is expecting 10,000 new units in the city by 2028. Now, future plans here include a new light rail station and a water taxi service direct to Newark Airport. Imagine living in Jersey City and taking a water taxi to grab your flight instead of an Uber. The PATH train already provides unbeatable connectivity, running all day and night. And multiple PATH stations, Journal Square, Grove Street, Exchange Place, really do offer accessibility. This is the combined effect here is just absolutely enormous. Jersey City will add more housing in the next 3 years than most cities have added in an entire decade. Demand for New York City is so intense that even with all this new inventory, prices are still climbing. Early buyers in these developments are seeing appreciation before the buildings are even finished. I'm talking about pre-sale contracts on a lot of different new construction units. But here's what makes 2026 a critical year to act. And this is where it all comes together. Multiple factors are converging that are going to send all these markets through the roof. New York City rental costs have pushed past $4,000 or $5,000 for studios, which means that hundreds of people are looking for an alternative to that rental rate in New Jersey, and they can find it here because you can pay that in a mortgage. The work from home Permanence means that New York City salaries can now be earned from New Jersey homes without the daily commute grind. Infrastructure investments, including tunnel expansions, are going to make travel more reliable via train. This confluence of factors has never really happened before here because there's never been this type of movement with people wanting to be this close to New York City and not be in New York City. So they're really driving the prices up. And the window for that market is closing. And that's not sales talk. That is an actual reality. So let's recap what you're looking at here. Jersey City's mega development breaking ground now is bringing thousands of units. Hoboken's waterfront transformations making those markets hotter. The luxury homes in Weehawken have amazing views and won't stay on the market long. Montclair's cultural renaissance is really bringing people to a suburban space that has urban culture. Soma, South Orange and Maplewood's creative community boom is creating the next Brooklyn. Richwood's premium lifestyle is ready for those who want the absolute best suburban living. These aren't just suburbs anymore. They're the future of the New York City metro area. And in 2026 is the year everything is going to shift into high gear. Ready to get in before those markets explode? I'm Michelle Momoli, and I help people relocate to New York City and sell their homes in New Jersey. Email me, michelle.momoli@compass.com. Whether you're ready to buy or you're starting to explore your options to sell, I'm helping you navigate these markets with an insider perspective. If you want a deeper dive into why Montclair specifically is dominating the New Jersey market, you need to watch this next video on what's really driving those million-dollar homes to sell in under 2 weeks. Trust me, what I reveal about Montclair's hidden advantages will absolutely shock you. See you there.